Silence. Awkward, isn't it? We live in such a busy, busy world. We are constantly being demanded for our attention. Even right now, you're thinking, I hope that this 2 days is worth all of the stuff that I'm going to miss at my job or where I'm supposed to be. What time is this over so I can check into my emails? Some of you are going to check your emails while I'm talking, and that's totally fine. But we're constantly being pulled. Our attention is constantly being demanded of us. When was the last time that you stopped and quieted your mind and asked yourself, why am I here? What am I supposed to do? What do I love to do? What am I good at? What does the world need that I have been given that I can offer? How can I align that with my career and get paid to do that? When was the last time you stopped and asked yourself those questions? Or are you just going through the motions saying one day, someday, comparing yourself to other people on Facebook? Oh, that person's just got a new house. That's nice. I wish I had a new house. Oh, this person's on Barbados. I'd like to go to Barbados. We spend our lives comparing ourselves to the lives that other people are living rather than figuring out the life we're supposed to be living. About 2 weeks ago, there was two major things that was happening on the same weekend. I wrote a blog on this, and it was, you had Tiger Woods came and had the most ultimate comeback of any professional in their career, and that was being celebrated. And then you had people lining up for, Game of Thrones watch parties on that same exact weekend. And my kids are running around the house singing Baby Shark for endless hours. And we sit here and we will take time out of our lives to watch Tiger Woods and the next day talk about Tiger Woods. We'll spend time to watch Game of Thrones and to talk about Game of Thrones. Or we'll wonder, how much did they get paid for writing that Baby Shark song? Why can't I write a song like that? My life would be great if I did. It could go viral and I don't have to do what I'm doing anymore. We spend our lives distracted, questioning, and saying, what if? What we hope these 2 days are for you is a timeout. A timeout in your life to ask yourself, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing with my life? And if I'm not, why not? So where does purpose come from? Purpose is the combination of those four questions that I asked you. Purpose is, what is it that you're good at? What is it that you love to do? Come back here. There we go. What is it that the world needs? What is it that you could get paid to do? And here's the thing. Everybody always thinks that it starts with the what is it I love to do. Listen, I love to play hockey. I really, really do. But as Kurt pointed out, I have kind of a vertical issue. I'm vertically challenged that way, right? I actually met someone Kurt played professional basketball, and I met a basketball player one time. He said, two things stopped me from going to the NBA: talent and ability, right? He had the height. He didn't have that. So I could play hockey, but I can't play at an NHL level. While I love to do that, that is not what I was created to do. So what you love to do is not the starting point of your purpose. It's the byproduct. You see, you have to ask yourself, what is it first that I'm good at? What are the unique talents, giftings, and God-given abilities that I have been given that I can contribute to society, to the lives of others? What are those things? And then ask yourself, is that something the world needs? You might be the best underwater basket weaver in the house. The world doesn't need it. You might even love it. You might even get paid to do it. And if you figure out how that works, let me know. But what is it that you're good at? What is it that the world needs? And is that something you can get paid to do? If it checks those 3 boxes, then ask yourself, if I did this for the rest of my life, would I love it? And if the answer is yes, then you found your purpose. And I ask you, if you're not doing that today, why? Companies have the same challenge. See, this isn't just about you. Organizations go into business because they say, hey, there's this great idea. We're going to make this widget, or we're going to provide this service because nobody else has done it before. Or maybe other people have done it before, but we're going to do it better, faster, cheaper. And they go into business, and they finally figure out that maybe they can't do it better, faster, cheaper, and they start to sacrifice on their purpose. Patrick Lencioni has a great statement that I love. He says, employees in every organization and every level need to know that at the heart of what they do lies something grand and aspirational. In order to successfully identify their organization's purpose, leaders must accept the notion that all organizations exist to make people's lives better. How are you making people's lives better through what you do every day in your jobs and careers? When's the last time that you looked at your company's mission, vision, and values and say, you know what, we do that? Or are those words that now just adorn a wall in a break room or in the back page of your employee handbook? See, we skip over these things because we're so busy. Companies start with this grandiose purpose. They invite people to come along the journey with them and say, we're going to do this incredible, impactful thing. They start putting processes in place to support those people, and then they start turning a profit. But as those companies grow bigger, larger, and older, they start to forget those things. They'll go back and they'll revisit their processes, and they'll say, we need to look at our processes. They'll go back and they'll look at their people, and they'll say, okay, who's our top 5, who's our bottom 5, who do we need to manage out, who do we need to start treating people like commodities? And very rarely do they ever go back and say, why did we start doing this in the first place? But Lencioni's charge is that's what we should be leading with. We should be leading with our why. Simon Sinek, who many people in this room have heard, talks about start with why. He shares that. But you don't just start with why, in all due respect to Simon. You lead with it in everything that you do. It is not a starting point that you depart from. It is in your windshield of everywhere you are going. It is your GPS. It is the grounding point for every decision that you make. It is the foundational elements of why you exist as a company and why you exist as a person. What is your purpose? We have a new term that's not new anymore, the millennials, and I would argue that we've gotten them wrong. I am not a millennial. In fact, I used to be one of the biggest complainers of millennials until someone said something profound to me. They said, if you want to learn how millennials think and act, you need to stop complaining about them and you need to start hanging out with them and figure out why they think the way they do. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. And I spent the last 2 years digging into the millennial mindset, and here's what I found. Our generation, our society has been largely shaped, everything that we have, everything that has been built, has been largely shaped by the baby boomers. They had this paycheck mentality. Go to work. I was talking to my dad about this last night, actually. He works for GM, and he was wishing me good luck on this day. And he's like, yeah, you know, manufacturing's not really into this whole purpose thing. We have our mission, vision, and values, but it's really about, you know, emissions and all this other stuff. And I said, I understand that. I said, but let me ask you a question. If you're trying to engage the next generation to come work for you, and they can get paid to work on an assembly line all day long and they don't know what they're doing, or they can get paid the same amount to make impact, which one do you think they're going to be drawn to? And he said, well, the impact. And I said, see, you said that very clearly. You knew that, but why are we not leading with that? See, baby boomers have this fixed mindset of, if I get paid $60,000 to do this job on this line, my life has to fit in this $60,000 box. And I have to go to that job for 30 years and do the same thing over and over and over again so that maybe I can one day retire, get the gold watch and the pension. And those days have long left us. Their job was their security. They were loyal to their paycheck. Their job was their source. Millennials came on board and they said, well, I don't really like the idea of doing the same thing and fitting my life in this box for my whole life, because I looked at my grandparents and that generation, and I asked myself, what was the impact that they had on the world by going to this? And sure, they impacted the world by being a great father or a great mother or they had impact. I'm not diminishing their lives. But millennials said, I want something more. I want to have some sort of nationwide or global impact. I want to know that the world is a better place. Lencioni said that all organizations exist so that they can improve the quality of people's lives. Millennials wanted that. They had a purpose mentality. They also have an abundance mentality. Remember the $60,000 box that I talked about? If someone says, I'm going to pay you $60,000 to do this, and they have a different lifestyle in mind, they will either go find a company that they can make the amount of money that they want to make to support the life they want to live and the purpose that they believe they exist for. And if they can't find it, they'll start one. Most of the startups that we have today are a result of people asking themselves what they want to do with their lives, and they can't find it out there today. So they go freelance, or they start a company themselves. They create their purpose, they create their lifestyle. They want to have an impact. Their potential, they believe that their God-given abilities, the things that are within them, are their source for what they want to do. See, I just thought they were all lazy and wanted beanbags and coffee. But they weren't lazy. They were bored. There's a difference. My generation, Generation X, got caught like in the middle. We're called Generation X because we didn't do anything. We're like, we're lukewarm. Spit out of the mouth. So when companies design their mission, vision, and values, these are not buzzwords. These words should answer three very specific questions. And you might be an employee here today, you might be a business owner, you might be one of our sponsors. And what I would ask is that you go back and revisit your mission, vision, and values as an organization. Your mission should answer the question, what is our why? Why do we exist? Your vision should clearly answer, where are we going? And it shouldn't be this 7-page vision statement, right? This is where we're heading. Chris came up here, he talked very clearly about what the mission of Life Remodeled is and what's next, right? Why we're here and where we're going. And then the values are what matters along the way. These things don't change. We don't say integrity is one of our values and then tomorrow it's not. We don't say people matter and then tomorrow they don't. People matter until we're in the red on the P&L. No, people matter always. All people matter always. Do your mission, vision, and values answer these questions? And if you're an employee and you're not sure, I charge you to go back. Pull out the employee handbook. Go back to the break room and look at the words on the wall and say, when's the last time that we've talked about this? And how am I living this out within my organization? And does this align with my personal purpose? Again, going back. Am I doing what I love to do? Am I good at it? Am I getting paid to do that? And is it something the world needs? How many of you know who Michael Jr. is? Right, a couple hands. So we were putting this summit together, and I saw a video clip a couple months back. And I'm going to show you a 3-minute video that encapsulates what it means to act out things on purpose. You see, purpose sounds like a fluff word. Sounds like this feel-goody word. But the reality is, it is the most powerful word when you apply it to action. And so I want to show you a clip of the difference of action with purpose and action without purpose.
How do I know? A lot of people, when they think of the phrase, how do I know, they always want to put the what behind it. How do I know what I'm supposed to do? The question that you really should ask is, how do I know why I'm here? Because when you know your why, your what becomes more clear and more impactful. If you know, like for instance, people know that I do comedy, but that's what I do. My why is to inspire people to walk in purpose. So I can do comedy, I can write books, I can be in a movie, because all of it is motivated by my why. In fact, I have a new web series out called Michael Jr. Break Time. We probably just did the 6th episode. It's on YouTube. So every single Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we drop a new episode on YouTube of Michael Jr. Break Time. What it is it's me. I travel around the country, and I do stand-up comedy, in case you didn't know. And in the middle of my comedy set sometime, I'll stop and just talk to my audience. And we've been filming this, and it's pretty cool. So we're in Winston-Salem. I'm going to show you a clip from Winston-Salem. And I'm just talking to this guy in the audience, and he tells me that he's a musical instructor at a school. So I was like, all right, you're a musical instructor. Can you sing? Let me hear you sing a song. So this is what happened at the last episode of Michael Jr.'s Break Time. Check it. So you're a musical director. Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Wow. That bro could sing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, what you give me the version is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick, if you know which version I'm talking about. Just see if that exists. Let me see what you got.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now, right now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Let's go. Now. Okay. Here's what I want you to catch. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what becomes more impactful because you're walking towards or in your purpose.
Your what has more impact because you are walking towards your purpose. I hope that in our distracted day and age, where tons of things are going to pull at you over these next 2 days for your attention, that this time out helps you not only to find your why, but to learn with it, to lead with it, and live with it. Live purposefully.